Tonight starts now.
Tonight on 7 News, record water flow in a pair of North Country rivers. We speak with state officials to give us a breakdown of the numbers. Plus, New York Congresswoman Claudia Tenney visits Watertown to look at what's arriving at the airport. But first, the village of West Carthage goes to court. The goal, stopping asylum seekers from coming to one village motel. Thank you for joining us. Garrett Domblewski is off tonight. I'm Zach Grady. West Carthage Mayor Scott Berto believes the Pleasant Night Inn is getting ready to house asylum seekers. Court documents show the village filed legal paperwork to stop it from happening. Court papers filed in Jefferson County State Supreme Court on Wednesday say Berto and the West Carthage deputy mayor met with the Pleasant Night Inn owner Paresh Patel. The two coming out of the meeting believing Patel may enter into a contract to convert the motel into an unpermitted long-term stay facility. Patel told 7 News on Wednesday he does not have any signed contracts, a company which is helping New York State place migrant workers who are coming into New York City has, however, reached out to him.
The company just inquiring about how many rooms and what's all the detail regarding the hotel. But they just gathering the information for the future purpose. We don't have any contract or anything.
Berto wrote a letter to county and state lawmakers Monday urging them to take action. He believes the county is not equipped to handle the influx of migrants. The village is looking for Judge James McCluskey to issue a restraining order that would prohibit the facility from violating village code. Jefferson County Administrator Robert Hageman told 7 News that the county is staying ready. Officials are in communication with both local and state agencies in case migrants did make their way to the North Country. A pair of rivers are raging in the North Country following heavy rains. 7 News reporter Chad Charette breaks down the numbers as the amount of water running through the Black and Beaver rivers right now is breaking records for the month of August.
In terms of flow, the Black River hit a record for August, being measured at 9,060 cubic feet per second this morning.
Flows along the Black River are elevated, but not at a point to be concerning or lead to any widespread damage.
Property may not be in danger, but folks going whitewater rafting could be, since more flow means stronger rapids. To keep rafters safe, Adirondack River Outfitters has decided to take an alternate, shorter route across the Black River.
Approximately the same number of rapids, but the rapids that are contained in that first half of the river are more manageable at a high water flow than the bottom half.
Here in Casterland, where the Black and Beaver rivers intersect, you can see a pretty noticeable amount of flooding. At this fishing access site where I'm standing, the water has worked itself all the way into the parking lot.
Certainly the residents along the Beaver River and communities downstream should be and are watching those levels closely.
Beaver River's flow was measured at 2,450 cubic feet per second, an August record. That's within the National Weather Service's action stage, and officials are using tools like spillways to mitigate flooding.
To have water out here is kind of strange for this time of year.
Terry Knofsier says the flooding isn't posing any major problems, but it is surprising since the river usually only flows this heavily in the spring.
It was dry down there because I went down there and bush hogged 3 weeks ago.
According to the regulating district, water levels are steadily beginning to recede and should continue to do so for the time being. Chad Charette, 7 News.
Well, we got more rain here in Watertown on Wednesday. We'll head over to the Weather Center now. Chris Hudson, what can we expect for the weekend as we head into it?
Yeah, we had more rain throughout the day today, and we are seeing more rain out there for many locations as this area of low pressure continues to wrap on up. But you can see across the entire Northeast that we have most of the rain right here across the state of New York. The rest of us are pretty much dry. First Weather is brought to you by Doors Plus and Adams Center. Here closer to home, you can see the rain moving through. It's going to continue through the overnight hours towards tomorrow morning. The good thing is we have improving conditions as we go throughout the day on our Saturday, with our highs getting up into the upper 60s to lower 70s. So I think while we start out gloomy during the morning hours and maybe a little wet for some locations, we do end up getting pretty nice by the afternoon. The question is, do we have a dry period on the way? Well, I have that answer coming up in just a few. Zach?
Thank you, Chris. Bringing back a flight and adding a place to eat. New things are arriving at the Watertown International Airport. State and federal lawmakers took a tour to see some of the improvements being made. Also on hand, 7 News reporter Lexi Bruning.
The Watertown International Airport has come a long way since Jefferson County took over in 2006.
We've increased enplanements commercially over 450%.
Not only has the airport been busy with travelers, it's been busy with projects. Between state and federal grants, the airport has recently been awarded around $35 million. Friday, Congresswoman Claudia Tenney, State Senator Mark Walczyk, and Assemblyman Scott Gray got a look at improvements the airport has made and the direction it's going in.
It's always good to see the assets and see what's happening so I can explain it. And make that real to people in Washington.
The tour included a look into the airport's aircraft rescue and firefighting facility, a $6 million project, and a look into its new $1.5 million air ambulance hangar. There is more to come for the Watertown Airport. In the next few months, construction will begin on a new $28 million terminal. It'll include a restaurant and jet bridge. And later this fall, the airport will bring back its 6 a.m. flights to Philadelphia. Tenney, new to represent the district, says she's impressed by the airport staff and efficiency.
I can't emphasize enough the fact that this is all being done in a fiscally sane way without, overburdening the taxpayers, without raising taxes, by allowing a service that's affordable and a service that's accessible to the community.
Construction on the terminal is expected to start in October or November. Lexi Bruning, 7 News.
2 former Watertown mayors may have Thompson Park roads named for them. On the agenda for Monday's City Council meeting, changing the name of North Entrance Drive at Thompson Park to Jeffrey E. Graham Drive. Also on the docket, changing the Gotham Street Entrance Drive to Joseph M. Butler Jr. Drive. The 2 resolutions come at the request of current Mayor Jeff Smith, stating in both resolutions that the city wishes to honor the former mayors. St. Lawrence County is improving its ability to help people with mental health disorders. Looking at this chart provided by St. Lawrence County Mental Health Services, the green line indicates the number of people on a wait list to be seen at the facilities. This spring, that number reached 30 people. That number took a drastic drop as of June this year, falling all the way down to 0. One reason, the county was able to hire another licensed master social worker. Director of Community Services Jay Ulrich says the vacancy was held for more than a year, 3 of those vacancies to be exact. He says being able to get the wait list down to 0 is great, but expects as more people seek help, the wait list could grow once again.
Well, yeah, it's great news. But, in terms of, moving forward, it really depends on how many referrals we get moving forward because, a typical caseload should be around 80, 85. You get above that, you tend to tax your counseling staff. And of course, then that can lead to burnout. So we try not to do that.
The office serves 350 community members. Ulrich says when it comes to the wait list, they learn about the people on it as well as if there is any immediate need and or danger. In those cases, that person may be able to receive services quicker instead of staying on the wait list. Sales tax collections have risen in Jefferson, St. Lawrence, and Lewis County. 7 News reporter Sean Brenda finds out tonight why and just how much those numbers are up.
More revenue for county governments coming in the form of state sales tax in the first half of 2023. In Lewis County, from January to March, it saw a 5% jump over last year. From April to June, it saw a 2.9% increase. As for Jefferson County, in the first quarter, it saw a 3.2% increase in collection, and in quarter 2, a 3.5% increase. The largest increases came in St. Lawrence County, where in quarter 1, it saw sales tax collections jump 10%. And in the second quarter, the increase was 5.3%. So what's the reason behind the jump? County legislator Jim Reagan says he has some ideas.
We're seeing a $35 million increase in construction and a $20 million increase in data processing, which I think is due to the crypto mining over in Messina.
Another reason, the price of gas. A higher price at the pump means more tax on that purchase, and a percentage goes to county governments. Gas right now is over $4 a gallon in areas like Ogdensburg, Canton, and Potsdam. Counties share sales tax collections with other governments, where it can help with town and village budgets.
It's a major component of the town and village budgets, and if that were to disappear, well, our options to meet budget would be to cut services drastically or increase real estate tax.
In comparison, in quarter one, the state on average saw a 7% increase. In quarter two, it was 3%. The figures come from the state comptroller. Sean Brinda, 7 News.
The Lisbon Fire Department is honoring its 100th year in service this weekend during the community's homecoming celebration. Organizers say the event reconnects people in the community, bringing back those who have moved away. According to a member of the town homecoming planning committee, there are events taking place all weekend, including a race across town for both kids and adults, as well as a chicken barbecue at the fire station.
We have kids events, we have yard sales, we have a library book sale. We just have a bunch of events that bring the community together and reminisce and talk about all the memories that people used to have growing up here and talk about things that have changed or new things that have come to our town.
The chicken barbecue starts up Saturday at noon. $15 is the cost for dinner, with it being $10 for kids. A parade is set to kick off at 5 p.m. Still to come tonight, Mel Busler is back in the building. He's got your North Country Sports Report.
Hey, Zach, we'll talk golf in Lewis County. That's Story in Sports.
Plus, officials in Maui say a little more than half of the disaster area from last week's deadly fires has now been searched. The devastation is so severe, the remains they find are almost unrecognizable. When 7 News continues.
From the North Country's news station, you're watching 7 News Tonight with Garrett Domblewski. Tonight's weather with John Kubis. And your North Country sports with Mel Busler.
Your evening winning lotto numbers for Friday, the daily 852 and the win for 2441. Recovery efforts are continuing in Maui following last week's devastating wildfires that killed at least 111 people. Hawaii's governor is addressing state residents on the status of the recovery and what happens next. CBS News correspondent Jeff Nguyen has more from Maui.
10 days after the wildfire devastated Maui, recovery teams continue to fan across Lahaina, searching for victims who weren't able to escape the flames.
So many of our people died. So many of my neighbors, my co-workers.
Shannon Ii is a custodian at a school that burned to the ground. She fears many of the victims yet to be identified are children who were sent home from school the day of the fire because of strong winds.
Knowing that some of the kids I've seen at school are no longer here is heart-wrenching.
Officials say a little more than half of the disaster area has been searched. The death toll is expected to rise as teams make their way through what's left of Lahaina. Community leaders in Lahaina came together Friday to express the concerns about the government's response to the wildfires and what lies ahead for their historic town. Residents are afraid rebuilding Lahaina is on the fast track and they'll be left behind.
Give us time to heal. Give us time to find closure, and be open and allow us to sit at that table.
They're also angry over how they're being treated in the fire's aftermath as they wonder what their future holds.
It's like we're prisoners in our own home. We're blocked out of our neighborhoods where, there's all these people everywhere, National Guard. It's scary.
People in Lahaina say relying on one another is what will get them through the worst ordeal of their lives. Jeff Nguyen, CBS News, Maui.
20,000 people are rushing to escape a wildfire near the capital of Canada's Northwest Territories. The fire is threatening the city of Yellowknife. Officials are ordering for all residents to be out by noon on Friday. There's only one highway leading out of the town. Residents without cars waited in long lines to register for emergency flights.
We've never, ever seen a wildfire season like this. Nobody envisioned an event of this scale, and it was just, and it's still really stressful. There's a lot of people left in Yellowknife that are freaking out.
The Yellowknife fire is just one of 1,100 burning across Canada. One blaze on the outskirts of a city in British Columbia is not far from the U.S. border. The record number of fires has contributed to choking smoke and hazardous air quality in parts of the U.S. Kris Hudson is back in the Weather Center with your full forecast after the break.
Now, tonight's weather.
Well, it's still raining out there for some of us, and that's the way that it's going to stay as we go overnight tonight. Now, if you're in northern St. Lawrence County around Messina, you're sitting there going, what rain are you talking about? It hasn't really rained a whole lot. Well, other locations, we've been seeing quite a bit of rain, especially in Lewis County, where rain is continuing, and it's continuing to rain here in Jefferson County as well. As far as how much rain we have seen over the past 24 hours, St. Lawrence County, really not that much. Anywhere from maybe 1/10 of an inch, 1/2 an inch, upwards to around 1 inch of rain in some spotty locations. It's been us here in Jefferson and especially Lewis counties that have seen a lot of rain. We're talking anywhere from 2 to 3 inches estimated by the radar side in portions of Lewis County in this blue and the light blue areas. And I was going through the data not long ago, and the interesting thing to me is this has been over the past 24 hours. I will look past the past 30 days. In the past 30 days, most locations in the North Country have received anywhere from 5 inches of rain, upwards of 13 inches of rain, and the 13 inches of rain has been in Lewis County. That's when we're seeing all the flooding going on with the Black River and the Beaver River. But here in downtown Watertown, still some rain falling out there. Current temperature 62 degrees, winds coming out of the west-northwest at 12 miles per hour. So it's still breezy, not as bad as it was earlier today. And earlier today, we did top out at 72 degrees, so it was below average for us and nowhere close to our records. Our low so far at 61 degrees, and we will be dropping down into those 50s by early tomorrow morning. Several of us already there. 59 degrees for you in Canton, 59 also for Ogdensburg, 59 degrees, very popular because Fort Drum and Lowville both sitting at 59 degrees, and then 57 for you in Barnes Corner. So temperatures tonight dropping down into the lower 70s, or lower 50s, should I say, and then tomorrow we get into the lower 70s for highs, and we do have a little bit of chance of rain, mainly in the morning hours. So how does this look on our future cast? Well, going overnight tonight, you can see that we do have that rain, and then by tomorrow morning, most of us starting to dry out. A few early morning rain showers, and then improving conditions as we go throughout the day on our Saturday. And by the evening hours, I think we actually start seeing some sun for some locations, and that's when the temperatures actually start warming up, when the clouds start to clear on out. With the improving conditions also come improving dew points as well. Our dew points will be a lot better. You can see as we go through most of the week, it's going to be very comfortable in nature, really no muggy conditions expected. But you know what I find crazy, other than the amount of rain that we've had over the past 30 days for most of us, is this little thing right here. That's Hurricane Hillary spinning in the Pacific. You can see, yes, it is making its way towards California. And the very interesting thing with this is actually tropical storm watches have been issued for Southern California around Los Angeles all the way down to San Diego for the first time in recorded history. So yes, very unprecedented weather happening, and it's happening all across the country. It's been kind of a crazy summer for us, but as far as next week, it is going to be a much drier week for us here. So we're going to see a nice dry period, and those temperatures still staying below average for us as well. Just a few morning rain showers on Saturday with improving conditions. It will be breezy throughout the weekend, so take note of that, but it will be dry as we go throughout much of next week. Mel Busler will have sports next.
Now your North Country sports.
Time for your Toyota Sports Report. Area golf courses continue to see plenty of business this summer. Good golfers and hackers like myself are enjoying hitting the links around the North Country. One of the golf courses that has had a great season so far is Cedars on the East Road in Lowville. Besides hosting the average golfer during the season, Cedars has hosted over 20 tournaments so far.
Yes, this is about 25 tournaments that we do once a year. This one is pretty much my favorite tournament because of the theme every year, and the family, they just go all out with decorations, and they do most of the work, which is I'm very grateful for.
That one tournament he's talking about is the Twins Wide Open Golf Tournament. It's the 18th edition of the tournament, this year featuring 160 golfers. It started out as a birthday party of sorts.
Well, we decided we wanted to celebrate our birthday, and we both love golf, so we threw a party on a golf course.
Each year, the tournament has featured a theme. This past event, no different.
Our theme this year is Proud to be an American. So we have, fortunately, some soldiers from Fort Drum here to meet and greet and actually play. We're having a cart decorating contest. The course is decorated. The clubhouse is decorated. All the people are decorated. It's awesome.
A tournament like this helps Cedars in meeting the bottom line each year.
So far this year, the weather's cooperated for the most part. The business has been great. Can't complain. Just waiting to keep going until fall.
J.R. Chamberlain tries to keep the club going from early spring to the middle of fall.
Yes, the season starts usually around April 1st, weather conducive to, and we'll go the course until probably the middle of October, late October, until people are pretty much sick of playing.
With events like the Twins one, golfers crave for more golf outings at Cedars. Well, it was a great night on area ranges of the Northern Tier Trap League. Here's trap scores, individual results, courtesy of Herringer's Contracting, the roof people who call you back. Yeah, great work by great people. 315-782-9129. All the scores compiled by the temptress of trap, the lovely Gina Worth. Checking team results from last night. Snow Fun of Evans Mills over Carthage. Harrisville outlasted Lowville. Glen Gregg defeated Governor. Brownville and Henderson tied at 123. Beaver River and Sackett's Harbor tied at 121. Lyme and Adams Center tied at 123. 25 shooters were perfect last night. Jim Walker, Lance Clemens, Tom Hunter, Brody Beckwith, and John Bach. Bach. Also Adam Yurden, Taylor Green, Tim Dotson, Deanna Morse, and Al Morse. Add to the list Sawyer Dan, Timothy Jones, Barry Turk, John Farney, and Dave Finley. How about Bob Griffith, Lee Smith, Todd Edick, Steve Castor, and Chris LaHouyer? Rounding out the 25 for 25 list, Owen Recor, Brandon Ingram, Kevin Kramer, Peyton Amato, and Greg Gleisner. 5 shooters have been perfect for 2 straight weeks. Joe Fredericks, Mike Vady II, John Campany, George Garreau, and Brian Monnet. 4 shooters have been perfect for 3 straight weeks. Alex Tucker, Zachary Dashnaw, Josh Grimshaw, and Hunter Downey. Rookie Masataka Yoshida hit a 3-run homer, 4 batters into the game, drove in 4 runs. Brian Bello pitched 6 innings Friday night to lead the Boston Red Sox to an 8-3 victory over the skidding New York Yankees, who dropped 2 games under 500. Justin Turner singled in each of his first 3 at-bats, hit a pair of RBI singles. Alex Verdugo also had an RBI single to start Boston's 3-run second that followed a fielding error by New York second baseman Gleyber Torres. Aaron Judge hit a 2-run homer in the 8th off Garrett Whitlock, but the Yankees dropped their 6th straight, their longest skid since losing 7 in a row in 2021. New York also dropped 2 games under 500 this late in the season for the first time since it was 57-59, following an 11-6 win over the Angels on August 31st, 1995. Well, tonight's Major League Scoreboards brought to you by Coleman's Corner, located behind Fairground Inn, across from Watertown Arena. Coleman's Corner offers traditional Irish fare along with gourmet sandwiches, burgers, steaks, and seafood. Enjoy your favorite beverage for great food. It's Coleman's Corner. American League Baseball, there you see the Red Sox win over the Yankees 8-3. Tigers, Guardians split a double dip. Tigers win the first game 4-2. Guardians the nightcap 4-1. Mariners blanked the Astros 2-0 in the 6th. Rays, Angels tied at 5 in the 5th. Orioles over the Athletics 8-2. In the National League, Nationals outlast the Phillies 8-7. Braves blanked the Giants 4-0. It was the Mets over the Cardinals 7-1. In the 6th, Diamondbacks, Padres scoreless. In the 4th, Marlins over the Dodgers 7-1. Interleague Baseball, Kansas City nips the Cubbies 4-3. Reds over the Blue Jays 1-0. Twins defeat the Pirates 5-1. In the 9th, Brewers lead the Rangers 9-6. And it was the Rockies over the White Sox by a 14-1 score. Baltimore Ravens have agreed to a contract with edge rusher Jadeveon Clowney. The Ravens confirmed the signing Friday. Baltimore's defense has been dealing with injuries in the secondary and could also use some pass rushing help. Clowney can provide the latter. He has 43 sacks in 9 seasons since entering the NFL as the #1 pick in the 2014 draft. Clowney had 11 sacks over the past 2 seasons with the Cleveland Browns. Baltimore moved on from veteran pass rushers Calais Campbell and Justin Houston this offseason. Well, that's it for now. We're going to stop, pay some bills. When we come back, Zach Grady is going to take us into the weekend.
Well, we have rain out there for many locations tonight. That's going to be lasting through the rest of the overnight hours towards early tomorrow morning. And then we see improving conditions on Saturday, remaining breezy though.
For Mel, Kris, and myself, this has been 7 News Tonight. Thank you for joining us. Brendan Straub is back tomorrow with your weekend report.